password for my backup disk is in my computer. So if my computer fails, I don't know what the backup.
You need a backup of your backup.
Yeah, well, I need to write
you need
down a piece of paper somewhere.
Yeah, you need an offsite backup.
Yeah, or print out all my.
Yes, that.
You know, one thing, speaking of that, a little bit different. When I sent my computer in, I think, they asked me for the username and password, which I was dead in the water. I had to give them. So, and I don't think it was a problem. Who knows? Maybe the Chinese guy. But anyway, when we did Beth's, we thought we were going to have to send hers in and do the same thing. And the guy said, create on your list of users a third user called a technician, or I forget what we called it, but some third entity, and make the password a password, so that if you send it in to them, they don't have to go into your file.
To the administrator,
Then you have access to the computer.
They have access to the. It's called guest user.
Yeah.
Guest user. Make it
just a.
Yeah, I see a guest user on there when I.
Yeah.
Yep.
So just.
So they can
go
work on it.
but in the guest user, I can put in Mark.
Anything.
And give
Well, you need to put on something where a technician would say, "Oh, that's where I'm supposed to go."
Yeah.
Well, no, but I understand. But then, what data would you be able to access?
None,
Nothing.
but just the hardware.
General
And the
program.
The general program.
Yeah.
For example, you could access.
Operating system.
You could access email, but not my email.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's just like a PC when you set up multiple accounts. So Becca's computer, Windows 10, has both our accounts on there, but I have files and games and such installed on that user. But when she loads up for her user, nothing. She has her own programs and files.
I know my daughter was playing with this, and she signed on as a server trying to find photographs, and it wouldn't let her into any photographs. So I realized then that apparently
it's cut off. Yep. Yeah. Yep, and it's done that way on purpose. You know, you set up a kid's account. You don't want your kids accessing your files on your, they may not mean to do anything, but.
Okay, that begs the question. Your kid goes in, sets up my kid file and puts in his or her code. Is there any way you can find out where they've been then?
If you have access to their password, if you set it up and you gave them the password.
The thing you would want to do is you would set it up, not let them do it.
Yeah.
So you would have to.
That way you can monitor. Yep. And then
not too far down the road.
Yeah, but she's got a father that's on top of it. But so yeah, I mean, you can go to Safari and you can search if they didn't clear it, which they can, but you can search their web history. You can't necessarily know every file or program they access, but if they're doing stuff on the internet, you can search that. You can a lot of antivirus programs now have parental controls. I think even a Mac has parental controls in their system preferences now, and I think I don't know about Windows 8, but I'm pretty sure Windows 10 has that as well. So there's different things that you can do to ensure that you're doing the best that you can to keep your kids safe and doing the things that they should be doing and not allowing them to do the things that they shouldn't be. I know, at least with like antivirus software, you can download other applications that basically say no, adult websites and no websites that have to do with this topic. And you put those filters in and they try to go to that website and it won't let them. So, yep. And there's safe searches that even like Google has, so you can set the search setting to either none, moderate, or high, and it'll filter out. If you got it on high, it's gonna, I think I shared this before in one of my sermons. We do all the, our PowerPoint, we do all those pictures. Just this Sunday, when I was looking up Weinberger, I decided to click on the picture section to see if there was a graphic of any kind. Of course, it just came up with, different people named Weinberger in their profile pictures. But one of them that showed up was it was two pictures side by side. It was just one picture though, but it was two pictures set up side by side. One was a close up of a woman that looked angry, and then the picture right next to it, I'm assuming, was the same woman naked. I've had stuff like that all the time. I'll type in something.
Where does that come from?
Because somewhere on that website or in that picture name came up the word Weinberger. And so, I'll type something in that I think is completely innocent, and I'll click to find a picture about it. Again, for the power. Is the filter setting on it.
I had a warning on one of my emails that says, warning, if you get an email titled Naked Pictures of Hillary, do not open. Then the comment down below, because it contains naked pictures of Hillary. Political joke.
Yeah, well, a lot of people send.
That was just a farce.
Yeah, but there are viruses like that where you think you're getting one thing and it ends up being something else. So, yep. Yeah, those are all steps that you can take to try to keep, your children or your grandchildren or great-grandchildren or, nieces, nephews, whoever, friends and family safe. And obviously a way to keep your files safe from, for the most part, technicians are, they've signed them, but, so airport people and airport stuff disappears, So it's a smart idea to be safe with your own information. Keep it private. Yep. Perfect. Great questions. Ideas.
I guess the problem I have with my backup is I don't know how to download the information if I need to. Next time I come in, I'll bring my backup. Maybe you can
We can take a look at it.
take a look at it.
Yep. Any questions about anything? We're good this week. So apparently Apple sold 13 million iPhones.
No kidding.
Yeah.
In 1 week, in 1 day or 2 days?
Well, it released on Friday morning at 8 a.m. I think. So Friday to Monday. 8,000 phones a minute is I think what it amounted to at the time when they posted the article.
I wonder how that compares to prior releases.
I don't know, but I think there were some, I mean, the new camera being 4 megapixels better, the 4K video is probably very appealing to people. The forward, the selfie flash where the screen lights up white to create its own virtual flash, even though it's not a real flash. The 3D touch, that really intrigues me, being able to click on an app and have a quick context menu. Did you hear about that?
I've heard about it. I don't know what it means.
So basically, if you have your phone and you open it up, and instead of touching the camera icon and going into camera and then swiping over and picking video, if you just hold down the camera button, it'll have picture, selfie, video, like 4 context options before even getting into the app. You click on the mail button and compose new email instead of clicking on the app and then clicking the compose button.
By holding.
Just by
This
holding.
is the pressure sensitive touch screen.
Yeah. They're calling 3D touch. Yeah. I would think, because they've already have the term force touch, and I would have thought they would have gone with that, because there's really nothing 3D about it. So I don't know. Um,
And
But
you
yeah.
have to see what the downstream ripple effect has been on the previous models.
it's, you mean as far as,
$100 cheaper
it's always $100 cheaper.
through Apple or
No, it's
across
the board.
yeah.
Everybody should be lowering the prices of the 6 down $100 and then the 5S down $100, which was already 100. So the 5S should be $200 cheaper now.
So given what you know, looking backwards, how far back would you go
Uh-oh.
before you lost?
What's that?
Significant features.
Tell me I counted the money today.
I'm trying to remember if the 5S. I don't remember if the 5S has Touch ID or not.
Ryan, just a simple,
It looks like it does.
I want to move that up here. I don't know.
So you click in front of it where it is
Yeah.
right now and just push delete.
Push delete.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't want that.
No, you should just click. I'm not sure why it's doing that. You should just push delete and it should maybe click up there.
I can't get it up there.
And there's some kind of paragraph thing going on that I'm not aware of. Huh.
Well, it's actually.
Still,
Yeah, so, well, I was trying to make sure that I think
So how do I correct this?
I'm really not sure. I'm not sure why there's a gap and why you can't click in that gap. So, so the 5S does have Touch ID. So I would,
and that's the fingerprint.
that's the fingerprint. And I think well, let's check out right
Was
here.
the 5C that was the economy version.
Yes, the 5C, yeah, and it was slightly popular, but mostly,
Chinese.
yeah. Well, it was it's plastic, and I don't think, some people liked it, and some people liked it because it was color and fun and customizable with the cases. But I think overall it was a flop, which is why they're not doing them anymore. So yes, the 5S and the 5C came out together. But I think going back to the 5S, you still get the Touch ID, which means you still have the near field communication. It's got a smaller screen,
Near field communication is.
Apple Pay, those
Oh,
kinds of things.
Okay.
Oh no, the 6 has I lied. So the 6 has so the 5S introduced the Touch ID. The 6 introduced near field communication. And the 6S obviously has both. So the 5 would be no Touch ID. It would, and both the 5 and the 5S would, neither of which would have Apple Pay. So whether or not that's an important feature would determine. The 5, again, is the smaller screen. It was before it's the 4-inch, so it's bigger than Sandy's, but not as big as this one. So they made it basically half an inch taller. So you'd be getting that. And then each year, the processor gets fat. They always put in the newest chip, and they seem to be, every single phone has a new chip in it.
How about the camera?
The camera in the 5S, let's see if we can go to Apple's website, see if they, I don't know if Apple would.
I thought that was the biggie with the 6 with the camera.
No, the 6 and the 5S have the same camera. The big difference between, if I'm remembering my years right, the big difference between the 5S and the 6 is when the 6 came out, they increased the pixel size. So it went from 1 micron to 1.5 microns or something of that nature. basically meaning that the pixels are larger, allowing for the picture to be clearer, but the actual camera itself was still 8 megapixels, so there wasn't any real difference. From the 5S to the 6, I think they switched to the True Tone flash, where it's both a white and an amber flashing. Let's see here what we've got. All right. Screen size 4 inches. Let's see if we can.
You on Apple's site?
I am not, because Apple, they used to, but I don't think they do as much anymore, share the old models. I am on iPod.about.com and then a whole bunch of more stuff. But I just did a Google search comparing iPhone models, and it was the second search. Also, when you switch from the 5S to the 6, the actual capacity changes. So as you can see, it goes 1632 64, and then in the iPhone 6, you go 1664 128.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Resolution looks like, oh, there's a, please don't play. Looks like resolution has stayed relatively the same. 3D touch is the new feature.
Is there any place you can get the new 5 or the new 6S for less than the
Retail?
price?
No, you might be able to go to Costco and get it, or Walmart and get it for a couple cents off, but you're not going to get anything cheaper than that.
Now, some places like Best Buy, when you buy something, they'll give you a coupon for $20 or $30 off on some other merchandise.
Right.
I wonder if they have that on the.
They might have that. They might throw in a phone case or something.
Yeah, they might throw in some
Yeah.
accessory item.
Yeah, and that's all to get you to buy it from there. So they all support iOS 9. 8 megapixel camera, goes all the way back to the iPhone 5 actually. So nothing has changed about the camera other than the size of the pixels until you get to the 6S, where you go from 8 is the back camera, and it goes actually from 1.2 megapixels is the one that I have to 5 in the latest phone, the 6S. Video recording. Wait. Battery life, price. Yeah, so here's price. So the, of course, this looks like when it came out, because they're all saying $199. So I would not pay attention to that. So there you go. Oh, and here's the older ones back to the 4S. So that's a hard comparison, and if you're looking at as far as the iOS, you can go all the way back to the 4S, I believe, and still have iOS 9 installed on there. Yeah. Anything earlier, you're gonna.
Yeah, I didn't get the, on my 4, I can't.
No, yeah, the 4 says iOS. I think the 4 says you can't even get iOS 8. Yeah.
So I keep getting these emails saying.
So this is a nice comparison chart.
that they'll
Did you
offer
find
me
it?
$100 trade-in.
I'm actually looking on Walmart. iPhone 5S.
Yep.
Are they selling the 6S?
I'm sure they are, but well, yeah.
Yes, they are.
But they're probably out of stock.
They are. The 5S is out of stock too.
So what is it selling for? $200 plus a contract?
Well, yeah. So $200 plus a contract for the 16 gig version. I think it's still, yeah. So it's $199 for 16 gigs, $299 for 64 gigs, and $399 for 128 gigs
So would
in
I
contract.
need to upgrade from the base?
If you're not using your 16 gigs there, then the only consideration is photos and videos because it's a 12 megapixel camera and a 5 megapixel in front. Photos and videos are going to take more space.
Where will I find what I'm using?
Settings, about, or settings, general, about. Settings, general, about.
Yeah, I think you told me that last time.
Yep, and it'll say capacity.
Capacity 12.5, available
Which means that-
7.
So you're only using 5 gigs out of your 12, which
In the new one is 16.
well, it's 16 there. That's a 16 also. It's just when you've the true value of an actual hard drive is always less than what they quoted at. So if you buy a new computer and it's a terabyte hard drive, it's really only going to be like 913. And there's lots of different factors, and I don't understand all of them. But it's never, you've got to
fully with
it's
this.
it's never always that. There's some that are dead to begin with. There's some of it's all taken up by system and hardware files. That's under contract, and then your other options are, the AT&T Next, the Verizon Edge. Is that right, Sandy? Verizon Edge, T-Mobile or T-Mobile Jump, I think, and the Sprint. Something. Everyone has one where you basically lease your phone. It's the same thing as leasing a car. Is you sign up for a contract, you pay a monthly fee, and then so for Beck and I, in 6 months, we could trade in these phones. We wouldn't get any value out of them other than we would trade in and trade up to the next model.
Now, when my 2-year contract on this expired, my bill went down by $15 a month. $180 a year, $360 for 2 years is what I paid as a premium.
Right.
So I paid the $360 plus the $200 up front. So I paid $560 about
For the
for
phone.
Now, and if I just go in and buy the new 5 or the new 6S, it's what, $500? Did you say? $499?
No, with a contract, it's $199.
No, but without a contract.
Without a contract, it's $649.
Mhm.
If you were to just say, I want to buy the phone outright, I think it's like $649. But then, you can do whatever provider you have, you can do the monthly payment program. Or if you go to Tacoma, I found this out. I didn't realize this until I was looking into it. But Apple, I think I mentioned this, Apple has their own upgrade program, which they're calling the iPhone upgrade program, where you pay monthly fees. But theirs is specifically upgrading every year. So you pay, it's a 24-month contract, but every 12 months you can send them the iPhone and you can get the new one each year. Researching that, you have to go into an Apple store. You can't do it online. Which is Tacoma. So if you wanted to do that, and it's a little more expensive, I believe. I haven't looked that closely.
$15 a month. Does that sound about right? I saw it on TV last night.
Yeah, that's what I had paid when I bought this. For 2
It should be around $30-40 a month. But it depends on the model and.
Well, I think it also depends on whether you feel you have to have the latest and biggest and best.
Is that with service?
Yeah, it's with the
The
iPhone upgrade one is it comes with 2 years of Apple Care.
No, but I mean, it's not with minutes or data.
No, so you're basically
the hardware.
you're segregating. So AT&T is your provider. Well, and the other thing about this phone, and part of the reason why it's more expensive, is because it's unlocked, and so you can go with any carrier you want. So you're basically buying the phone separate from anything to do with AT&T or Verizon or T-Mobile or Sprint.
Do you know? Do they come with SIM card? The unlocked phones, do they have SIM card docks, for lack of a better term?
The little
Chip.
chip. I don't know. I've
So
never
that you can use
I've never purchased
overseas.
an unlocked phone. I think they don't, which is why they're unlocked. And then you would go to Verizon, and when you sign
They
up
would
for
give
your
you the SIM
contract,
card.
they would give you a Verizon chip. But I don't know because I've never done it and I've not looked into it before. So that's water I've not tread before. Yeah, it might come with maybe the unlocked is a generic chip, but I would think not because like Verizon and AT&T, an AT&T phone with a chip in it to Verizon because they're separate cell signals that don't talk to each other except when you call. But you can't. So yes. So yeah, so there's those. So you have three options. Well, technically you have four options. Option one would be buy the phone outright for the entire price. Option two would be to buy the phone with another 2-year contract. And when you do that, I'm pretty sure all of them are now charging a monthly fee for that because they don't want people in 2-year contracts anymore. So you're paying like another $5 or $10 a month to have a 2-year contract. Option three would be to buy the phone with the upgrade program through your carrier. And then option four would be to buy the phone through Apple with their upgrade program.
And which is the best?
Depends
Depends on the person.
It depends on the person. If you want to own a phone and own the phone and you have the money, buy it outright. If you want to lock in yourself into a 2-year contract because you've been with Verizon, Sprint, AT&T forever and you really don't see yourself switching, then you can do the 2-year contract.
Yeah, well, I really don't have an option because AT&T is the only carrier that has a decent signal where I live. I get guys and friends out there working with different carriers, and they can't get cell phone reception.
No one has good reception at our house. Verizon, AT&T, nobody.
But AT&T also gave me this little box with a
The microcell
microcell, so I get a really strong signal.
through your internet. Yeah, we have one of those at home too.
And there was no charge for them. So
Yeah, they give. Yeah.
Lousy coverage.
Yeah, in this area, it's really not good for anybody, I don't think. So those are, considerations based on model of what features you want and considerations of how you want to proceed. Or with some of the older ones, like I think Mark and I have talked about, you can do the pay-as-you-go or prepaid ones. Some of the older iPhones they'll let you do that.
I think I would be asking too much too, because I'm getting emails saying they'll give me $100 trade-in value on my M4. And by the 6 at the reduced price, I could get both, right?
So they're going to sell the 6 or the 6S.
I just want the 6.
Okay.
6S is too big, I think. Or not 6 Plus, I mean. I just want the 6, not the 6 Plus. Or
Right.
6S.
Is there a 6 Plus and a 6S? Are those two different
Well,
ones?
so starting last year, I guess that's another thing to consider that I didn't mention, is starting last year with the 6, they have the 6 and the 6 Plus. So this is 4.7-inch screen. 6 Plus is a 5.5-inch screen. So
Got it.
bigger, larger, all around. And then that one starts at a price point of $100 above what we just discussed. So it'd be $299, $399, $499, and etc. Add $100 all around for the different options. And then now they have the 6S and the 6S Plus, which same sizes, still 4.7 inches, still 5.5 inches.
So the 6S and the 6S Plus is just the Plus is a bigger.
It's just a bigger screen. I don't know. The 6S Plus or the 6 Plus either or will not fit in my pants pockets. So if I were to consider that, I would find a iPhone case that came with a belt clip because it would no longer fit in my pocket. I don't know. There's times when I would think, it'd be nice to have the larger screen. And then there's times when I think, I don't want it. So I'm still constantly, it'd be nice to have a big screen right now. And then other times, nope, it would not be good to have a big screen just because of its physical size. Not so much. It's always nice to have a bigger screen. But as far as physically being able to put it places, it's not always the best. So I'm still constantly back and forth on if we were to get new phones at any point in the future, what size would be best. Yeah. So yeah, I think we talked about this before, Sandy. I don't think that maybe other places are, but at least Gazelle's website
Right.
was
Checked
offering.
that last week. But
Yeah.
since they're saying in this email that but that's just to buy the new one,
The 6S. Well, they might do it with the 6 too. I don't know. That they probably are just doing that because it's the newest one and they assume everyone wants the newest.
Right.
Whereas there are other people who say, I just like to wait until the new one comes out and because the features aren't that impressive to me. And so I'll get last year's model for $100 less, which is a perfectly sound reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's a lot to work around of how you want to purchase or finance your phone.
Tacoma a long ways, but I want to go over there and go to the Apple store. Do you make an appointment ahead of time?
I don't know if you can. Have you?
I think you can. You don't go on a weekend, I don't think there's a huge problem getting it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think maybe.
Depends on what, if you need tech support, if you make an appointment, if you just want to shop, that's there you go.
Yeah.
Kids running around.
Yep, and they're usually pretty. I have heard of some cases where they haven't been helpful, but for the most part, they're not on commission, so they're not trying to push products on you, and
Oh, that's good to know.
they've been trained, whether or not they follow their training, they've been trained to stick with you until you're happy, whatever that means. So, and a lot of companies have are mimicking that model, mimicking the setup of the Apple store, which is why you see like AT&T and Verizon stores are now very open and they've got those desks where you can demo things that they're trying to mimic what Apple started.
Is that one in the mall?
Yeah, it is. I'm in the mall there. Right? I've been there. Yeah. It's a nice store. I just still being almost on crutches. I'm not sure if I want to walk in the mall.
Mm-hmm.
I'm comfortable going a short distance where I got something that
Yep.
Right.
pops off if I need to.
Any other iPhone questions? So I'll never actually get it. Of course, I should never say never, but I'm intrigued. I'd love to play with, not own, I think is maybe the better way to put it. The iPad Pro.
iPad Pro.
Yes, it's a new. So
What's
the iPad Mini is a 7.9-inch screen. Then you have the iPad, which is a 9.7-inch screen. The iPad Pro is a 12-inch screen, and they've kind of marketed it. Did I say that right? It sounded weird when it came out. Anyway,
So it's a touch screen.
it's the iPad. It's just 12 inches instead of almost 10, and they've done it. They're selling it in a way that is kind of a direct competition to the Surface, Microsoft Surface, because it has Apple's released their very own case that has a keyboard, which I've shown you mine before. Has that keyboard? That keyboard's from Logitech. Their keyboard is they designed themselves, and it's all
They
fancy.
think it's bigger and better.
Of course. And they actually came with a stylus, or you can buy a stylus. It's ridiculously expensive because it's super intelligent and precise. But it's really funny because when Steve Jobs was still alive, he said, there's no reason, you should never need a stylus for the iPad or the iPhone.
Something extra to lose.
And now here's Tim Cook and his team, and they've got the iPad Pro, and now they're selling this super expensive stylus.
Excuse my ignorance, but what is a stylus?
It's a pen designed specifically for touch screen.
Oh, okay.
So I actually have I forget where I got it. I might have gotten it at Senate Assembly, but it's a pen and stylus built into one. So you push the clicker and the pen comes out. When the pen's retracted, there's a little or where the pen comes out that you can use to touch the screen.
I thought the touch sensitive was touch sensitive due to the heat of the finger rather than the pressure on the screen.
There's certain tactile responses that work. Just like you can buy sport gloves at Costco, well, other places, but you see them like right now at Costco, where you can buy gloves that have the smart glove, I think they call them, basically on your pointer finger. It's got some kind of special rubber plastic that works with, yeah.
Use nitrile gloves.
Okay.
What is that, Mark?
The nitrile gloves, the chemical resistant gloves. Doctor's gloves.
Yeah. I didn't know those worked. So, yeah, anyways, it'd be fun to play with. It's so big, 12-inch screen with the built-in keyboard. Well, not built-in, but you can buy the keyboard. Anyway, be fun. All right. So I thought this was interesting. I saw this come across Twitter today, and it's way more complex than I thought it would be. So I know I titled today's stream, for anyone who watches it later or is watching it, Relax. But I discovered that when you build this thing, that aspect of it is not going to be relaxing. It's the Netflix Switch. And it's build your own. It's a DIY project. But basically, what they claim, if you do everything that it can do, basically you push this button that you see here on the screen. Let me pull this up for.
So what are you making? You're actually physically making that
You're
box?
physically making a button, a box that looks kind of like, it almost looks like the, that was easy. So you make this box, and I think here, see if we can get the video to load. Why is there? Oh, that's one. Of course, it doesn't really actually tell you what it's doing. But you can dim your lights, is what it showed before. It puts your phones on Do Not Disturb. You can order takeout with it, and it starts up Netflix for you. And so
You can't dim your house lights unless you got something else.
you have to. Oops, I
Something that
did
the
not.
lights are plugged into.
Yeah, you have to get like which we talked about briefly before in a previous class, but there's all these smart controllers for your house now. Well, that was a bummer. Make it done. There it is. They're Philips. I think it's called the Philips Hue. There's all different kinds of smart controllers that you can plug into the wall, and then you plug your lamp or thing. It's kind of like a much smarter version of a timer. You know, you can have a timer in your house or for your Christmas lights or things like that. It's a much smarter version of that. And they tie into your Wi-Fi network, which is what this little box does when you build it. And for you, and you're ready to relax at an evening watching Netflix.
So I can buy this little box.
So you have to, no, you actually build it.
No, let's back up for a moment.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna
Oh,
plug
you're
this-
talking about like the
I'm gonna plug this box into my AC outlet, and I'm gonna plug a lamp into it.
Oh, good.
and I'm gonna buy the box that Best Buy made.
Was that
Mhm.
it?
And with that then comes an app or something, so I can go in.
Oh, then you just download the app. Yeah, but yeah.
Then I download an app, and then I can, on my laptop, I can set parameters for that light.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, and you can have it come on at a certain time. You can, I mean, you can do all. It's the new and improved. I mean, home automation has kind of been around for a really long
So I
time.
imagine I could buy multiple of these
You
boxes.
buy multiple of those boxes. You can buy, keyless entries for your house. You can buy video cameras. You can buy thermostat, so you can control the thermostat from your phone when you're in California. Oh, I forgot to, set it to 65 while I'm gone, because that's, it doesn't need to be warmer than that. You can have something, I think, hook up to your garage door opener. Oh, I forgot to close my garage door. Or you're on your way home. Let's open it now, much sooner than you can with a physical remote. I mean, bless you,
bless you.
all kinds of things. And Apple now has an app called HomeKit, which kind of, if you decide to get these things, and not everyone makes all of those things, and so HomeKit allows you to basically filter all of these different companies into one app, and then you can control it all from HomeKit by Apple. But yeah, I mean, home automation has exploded in the last couple of years, and now it's getting
those
over.
stuff by Best Buy. Check out a couple of these.
Yeah, so basically you build this whole thing from scratch. So it requires some soldering and other things.
Doesn't sound that easy to me.
It does not. I read it and I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. But so you get a microcontroller, you get an infrared receiver so it can talk to your TV, a battery of some kind, or you can even get one that plugs into the wall if you don't want your little button to be portable. You build your enclosure. You get the schematic, which I showed Sandy earlier. And you do that. And then you assemble all of it together. And then you hook it up to your TV by connecting the infrared. And then you connect it to your Wi-Fi network. And then enjoy your Switch. Start pushing the button. Order your takeout, dim your lights, turn on your TV, and have it load up to Netflix and sit back and enjoy your evening. I just thought it was crazy. And then here's the do more. It looks like you can use a Raspberry. That looks like a Raspberry Pi. It is a Raspberry Pi. So you could use your Raspberry Pi to do it, which I have one. Maybe I'll try this. See, order food, silence your devices with a custom app, turn on your TV and your Netflix. So all kinds of crazy stuff.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who knew Netflix? I mean, who at Netflix decided, let's create a button that just does all these things for you? I mean, I don't know how entirely practical this is, but it's kind of a fun little thing.
I don't think I'm going to be out in my shop soldering and putting together electronic components.
Yeah. But I just thought it was a really cool thing.
Yeah.
Not everything we talk about is practical.
When we hear others mention it, we'll know what they're talking
The
about.
Netflix Switch, yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll know. We'll at least know it exists.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you ever get bored, you can just, build one yourself. So yeah, it was just a fun little thing. But yeah, home automation has really kind of come a long way there. And there's all different ones. There's the Nest. I don't know who does the Nest. But there's the Nest, there's Philips Hue. AT&T even has their own thing that you can subscribe to and add to your cell phone bill. They'd love to just, add more stuff to your bill. So yeah, see, here's the thermostat and webcam, security camera. ADT, of course, has their own stuff. I think both Home Depot and Lowe's have their own brand, and maybe Nest is from one of them. But anyway, there's all different kinds of ones out there. Here we go. Nest and Beyond, a beginner's guide to home automation. But anyway, there's a lot of them, and I think Apple doing the HomeKit has really helped because, like I said, not everyone does everything, and to be able to kind of combine them all together and not have to have a whole, several different apps or several different things. You can just all do it together is really nice. And I thought it was in here. There's have you heard of CarPlay for the phone? The car has to be built with it, but CarPlay allows your phone to seamlessly sync with your phone, and it turns your phone basically into a car-enabled device, and so it's got big buttons for music, and so you're not searching through all your different pages. It's got quick search up, and there are some ones that even have a separate screen built into the car, and then you just start using that. Siri, Bluetooth, all those things come.
So with these devices now, your phone and these iPads and whatnot, for the audio in stereos, where you used to plug your iPod into them.
Yes.
How do you connect these to them now? Is there some sort of Bluetooth thing that you plug into that audio in jack?
Oh, you mean like an adapter to turn your car Bluetooth enabled? There might be. I've never looked that option up. Looks like you can. Oh, I put AV though. No, we want Oh, yep, there we go. So yeah, yes, you can. Well, like Sandy has you've got the tape deck version from tape deck to the audio jack.
Yeah, they're not expensive.
No, they're not. It looks like 25 bucks. You can go up to 50, 60 if you want. But yeah, my car has, when I got my SUV, we bought an extended warranty, which was really good because we found out that the CD player was completely busted up. It's like it ate one of my CDs. So they replaced it with the warranty, and I paid a little extra to get, because I don't know what the term is, but you've got your skinny ones and then you've got your tall, weird with a whole bunch of plastic filler. So I paid a little extra to get the 2 tall one, but it came with Bluetooth, and it's really nice. So, and I don't know what, I mean, maybe they did talk about this feature in iOS 9, maybe not, but when I get in my car now and it connects to my Bluetooth, there's suggested apps in the bottom corner of your lock screen. So when I go to Fred Meyer, the little Fred Meyer button shows up down there. Starbucks, the Starbucks button shows up. Costco, the Costco button shows up, and you just swipe from that corner of the screen and it takes you to that app. Well, now in iOS 9, when I get in my car and my phone connects to my Bluetooth, which it does automatically, it now pops up in that corner of the screen, my podcast app that I use, because it knows that I listen to podcasts whenever I get in the car. So I no longer have to go and find my podcast app. It's just, I swipe the corner of the screen, hold my finger on the Touch ID to unlock my phone, and I'm in the app and can just push play.
Until next time.
Thanks, Bob. Yeah.
Take care, Bob. Glad to see you up and about.
Well, I'm glad to be up and about.
So I don't know if they advertised that or if I missed that or if that's something they didn't really, or if it's part of the new Siri, because Siri is supposed to be smarter and intuitive. So I don't know if that's part of Siri, even though it's not the talking part. But I thought that was really cool. And it's not the Apple podcast either app. I've downloaded a third-party one that I like better. And they recognize and use that instead of the built-in
Siri.
one.
So what's the content on this podcast? Is it just one? You have a favorite one or something?
No, it's an app that I can download the
So-
regular Apple
So
podcast.
it's like turning on your radio, this process, swiping your podcast app,
And then
unlocking your phone, and
Yeah.
then you scroll down through the ones you want.
yeah, so you can subscribe. So I've got a list of 10 or 12 podcasts that I listen to, and if it's already playing, there's a little bar at the bottom, and I click on that bar, and it pops it up, and I click play, and it starts playing from where I last left off. Actually, it jumps back 20 seconds, which is kind of a neat feature, so that you're re-listening to 20 seconds, but if you didn't remember from last time you were listening to it, so it automatically jumps back 20 seconds for you, which can be handy. Other times when I hop in the car and I pop out and grab something and pop back in the car, it's jumped back 20 seconds and I've been gone 5 minutes. So then I just push fast forward and it jumps ahead 20 seconds and I'm right back where I left off. But so yeah, you just you type in a topic or you type in the exact name of the podcast if you know the podcast, and then you click subscribe to the ones you want to subscribe to, and when you're connected to it, well, you can set up in settings, but you can set it up so that anytime you're connected to Wi-Fi network, it searches for new episodes. And there's also a setting where you can set it to, I think they call it news source. And so it only keeps the newest episode. So I have some of mine I have set up to just keep all of them that I haven't listened to. And then I've got a couple that I set up to only be the newest episode, because back information, want to stay up to date. So, yeah.
That'd be a good topic, this podcast. You know
Yeah,
about
no,
it? I don't even.
yeah, let's discuss it. I like that.
Next time. We've gone talking about podcasting.
Yeah.
Where are you going? You going south?
Yeah, south and then east and then further south.
Great.
Arizona, California, Arizona, Mexico.
Nice.
Yeah.